Good morning, DC. Thank you for tuning in to Newscaster Weather Channel. Today we are bringing you a special report on recent studies about climate change. If you are unsure what climate change is, it is the significant change in measures of climate lasting for an extended period of time. This term encompasses global warming because it refers to the change in many areas of weather. However, today we will only be looking at the temperature aspect.
We will now shift our focus to Northern Virginia. The average fluctuations of temperatures here are fairly consistent. Though small, there is still a general rise in temperature, though much to the contrary of what we had previously discussed in Beijing. This is due, in part, to the amount of smog and pollution that poisons the air of this area, which isn't experienced as much here in Virginia, since we are not as big a city as Beijing. So, this line will generally increase for about 4 years, then gradually decrease for about 4 more. Here is a graph of the high temperatures in Northern Virginia. We can see very severe fluctuations from about 1980 onward. For example, in about 1996, the temperature was very low, about 18 centigrade degrees. Then, 2 years later, the temperature increased to almost 20 degrees Celsius, which is very significant. So, over the next few years, we can expect the temperatures to continually have severe fluctuations. They may even get up to 21.5 degrees or higher. I think we can expect a very warm year sooner rather than later. So, bring out your tank tops and flip-flops. Finally, here are the low temperatures in Northern Virginia. Though still fluctuating, the lows haven't experienced as much a change as the highs, where I can again come back to the point I made about the nature of Beijing, China. Due to its severe pollution problem, it is experiencing more climate change than here in Nova. So, we don't see as much of an increase in the trend of the averages shown in the graph. However, it is still apparent, but not obvious. So, over the next few years, we will see a pretty regular pattern of increasing and decreasing temperatures.
Now let's bring it over to Emily reporting.
Climate change is fake news. Climate change is fake news. It does not exist. Climate change is fake.
USA! Fake news! Climate change is fake news! Fake news, everybody!
Security! Sorry about the interruption. This is live TV after all. Now let's bring it over to Emily, who's reporting from Beijing, China.
Thanks, Stephanie. People who live in Beijing are used to industry and rapidly changing temperatures. But is this due to a man-made cause or a natural cause?
As you can see in the graph shown, the average temperatures in Beijing, China, have fluctuated significantly over time, which represents the heating or cooling of atmospheric temperatures. Additionally, this graph generally increases, suggesting that temperatures, on average, increase. Global warming and climate change are to blame for this increase due to the recent usage and burning of fossil fuels, releasing carbon dioxide and other harmful gases into the atmosphere and thus increasing the general atmospheric temperatures. Over the next few years, we will see these temperatures continue to rise and fluctuate at the same rate. Based on these trends, we will, in more recent years, see a general decrease in temperatures, then a high rise in temperatures, therefore increasing the average of the data set. Now presented are the high temperatures in Beijing. In compliance with the average temperatures, these temperatures fluctuate severely, but do generally tend to rise, again suggesting climate change. As we've already noted, climate change is a fluctuation of temperatures over a period of time. So, this graph does very well portray this concept. Over the next few years, Beijing highs will continue to fluctuate, and we may see a small decrease, then rapid increase in temperatures in a small span of about 5 years. Now, here are the low temperatures in Beijing. While having significant fluctuations over the years, same as the previous two graphs shown, you can, again, see a general trend of increased temperatures over the next couple of years, about between 1984 and 2015, which is, in fact, almost the same time frame of increasing temperatures as both graphs represented previously. We can, again, credit this increase to the rise of burning of our natural resources. In the next few years, the temperatures will decrease significantly, then raise back to where they were. but will continue in this increasing trend, a quantity proportional to the amount of fuels burned and carbon dioxide released.
The Earth sometimes undergoes natural periods of significant temperature change. The most well-known of these might be the Ice Age. However, what is less known by people is that the Earth has also undergone warm periods, like during the Mesozoic era. Scientists have said that there probably wasn't even ice caps on the North and South Poles during this time. Many people who deny man-made climate change attribute the rising temperatures to a possible natural era the Earth is going through. However, we have been burning more fossil fuels now than ever, and that creates CO2, which warms the planet. There can be no other cause for the disaster of climate change.